going to try and do a little rig rundown for my lo-fi ambient rig, and that's the rig that includes all of the pedals that are under 50 Australian dollars. So basically all the really crap things that I find on eBay, and I think, haha, that'd be funny to try and put that into an ambient rig. I wonder if I can make it work. That's what's on this board. It's not actually on a board, it's just on a rug on the floor. So I'm just going to keep looking down at the order of the pedals, and then I'll show you what it looks like all chained together. There is another pedal coming, so what will be at the front of this rig is going to be a compressor, because that's where they go. I do sometimes put a compressor at the end of the rig. The compressor I've got, I don't really like it. It's kind of weird when you slam a note, well, when you play a note, when you play anything on it, it kind of like, it lets that first attack through, and it clamps down, and then it's sort of like, it's kind of like a reverse compressor. I don't know what it's doing, but it lets that initial attack through, and it clamps down behind that, and then brings it to the sustain that you want. It's very weird. I don't know how to use that particular compressor, because my other compressor is really expensive. It's a Diamond Comp Junior that I have. So I've got like this really expensive compressor, and then there's a really cheap one, and they obviously don't work in the same way. And yeah, that's the compressor that's on this rig. Second is a Slow Hand by Rowan. I don't actually have it today, but that's in the mail, that's coming. I hope it's good. It is a cheaper version of what I use usually on my other rig, which is the Mooer Slow Engine, which I really like, and I hope that the Rowan Slow Hand is similar, because otherwise I've wasted $33. Then next, okay, this is a really weird rig. I'm gonna have to keep looking at it, because in my head, you know, like I have the order of the pedals, how they should go, and this rig is not like that. So I've actually got, what brand is that? I've got a Mosky Spring Reverb after the Slow Hand, or after the Slow Engine, after some kind of volume swell pedal. And the reason I have that there, it's actually maxed out, so it's making the notes bigger before they get to anything else. So the theory behind that is that if it hits the delay, like if you go reverb delay, your notes are longer, they're also muddier, but you can kind of get like a fake all wet signal. Doesn't really work on these pedals, but if you have better pedals, you can get that fake 100% wet or kill dry signal. That's the theory. Again, doesn't really work. The next thing I have is the Golden Horse by Mosky, the fake clon, the clon of the clon of the clon. It sounds okay. It sounds surprisingly okay. It does add a nice little bit of sparkle to my do-it-yourself guitars that I use exclusively with this rig. I've never considered using my Fender Strat on this rig, because the whole premise of this is to have really lo-fi glitchy stuff that you can't get in a DAW, and you can't get by putting the lo-fi option on your high fidelity pedals. Like, yes, you can buy a Strymon and it sounds great, but even on the lo-fi settings, it doesn't sound like a $10 or a $20 or a $30 pedal. It sounds like an expensive pedal trying to emulate a cheap pedal. So that's why I have this rig. What's that? A Donner Yellow Fall delay. None of the cheap delays, as you might be aware, they don't have a long delay time. I think that one is about 600 milliseconds. I probably should have looked it up before I did this video, but I'm pretty sure the max time is 600 milliseconds, which is not very long at all. Out of all the delays that are in this little chain, that's the best. I took out the Musizi delay because it's only about 300 milliseconds, and it also added a lot of noise, so I got rid of that in favour of another one that's 2 pedals away. Next is the Musizi Chorus, which I actually really like. Again, it adds a nice... I'm going to do this on Tone Bogan's next episode. It's really nice. I actually really rate it. I've got more expensive chorus pedals that I don't even like in comparison with this one. So I feel like my $12 for that one was well spent too. I'm pretty sure it was $12 I spent. I don't really want to scroll back through my eBay history because it's quite long, but we'll go with that. Next, I have the Joyo Digital Delay, the ugly big brown square thing about that big. So this rig has all these micro pedals and then a big Joyo Digital Delay. I quite like that one, but it's not got as long a delay time as the Donna. It's about 500 milliseconds, which is not very long. Neither of them do kill dry or 100% wet, so that's kind of problematic, I guess. Next, I have underneath my leg, I have the Eno Reverb, and it's the one with the 3 settings. It's got, what's it called? It's calling it Room, Spring, and Well. So room is obvious, spring is obvious, well is just your big church decay or hall decay, and they all sound pretty similar. I think they're just tweaked by internal EQ. I think that's the only difference. They do not sound like room, spring. The spring maybe kind of does. Well, I don't know what well is meant to be. Who goes down a well to play guitar? I'm not going to try it. I'm pretty sure it's meant to be like a cavernous sound, and room and well don't sound like what they're meant to. And then sometimes in this rig, at the moment I have the compressor on the back because I was doing something and the reverb was insane and it just kept clipping out my signal, so I shifted the compressor to the back just for that. But I normally have it at the front before the slow hand or the slow engine I've been using. So that is the lineup of my pedals at the moment, and every time I post a song that says it's lo-fi ambient and they're just numbered as 1, 2, 3, etc., that's the rig that I'm using, and I like it. Sometimes I do some stuff in post, like I'll use Chroma in Logic just to, I guess, to blend the tracks together. I don't do looping that much because I'm not very good at it, so I just go track by track by track in Logic, double track, whatever. But I do put Chroma on, stutter there, on a lot of things that are ambient, just because you can, with reverb, just sort of blend everything together a bit more, and it does give you sort of like this emulation that you've used better pedals when you actually haven't. And I also do a little bit of EQ in Logic as well, which is pretty much why I do track by track, because they all need to be EQ'd differently. And when it's all in the looper, it does kind of sound smeared together for what I write. I normally have about 8 tracks. I know that a lot of other people just do 1 or 2, so that's just personal preference there. But I hope that was helpful for my lo-fi stuff. And if you have any cool suggestions on how to use the X-Vibe Lemon Squeezer compressor, can you comment, please? Because it's not working for me on any of the settings, it just does the same thing. So cool, thank you, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you feel like it. Thank you so much.